Hi, I'm Andy with Dayloom. I'm the lead designer, and I am here in McLean, Virginia. We are in the Swinks Mill neighborhood. As you can see, a gorgeous house and property. What got us here was the customer was looking for a different type of design. They already had a lighting system in place that another company put in a few years ago. The problem was some of the lights already started to go out. Some of the main issues they were looking for were not addressed in the initial design from the other company. One of those being, as you can see, this grand entrance. This was not well illuminated. The house was lit. Some of the trees in the front yard were lit, but they also really wanted to focus on functional lighting to go along with the aesthetic. And what my job was as the designer was to come up with a way to beautify, enhance, update the lighting, but also really add to that functional lighting. The customers here are getting up there in age. They have a lot of friends that are older, and they were really worried about the stairs coming up, but they didn't want the typical, they definitely didn't want floodlights. They didn't want the basic path lights. They wanted something that made sense. So when I met with them initially, I came prepared with the design in place. Something different that we do at Dayloom is I already come prepared with architectural drawings and a rendering, which is the drawings are a plat of the property with the design already in place, already marked up, just like you think of blueprints of an architect would draw up. We do the same thing just in lighting. And then the rendering, which is a visual of the house of what it could look like if they had our design. So once I brought that to them, they already were impressed by that presentation and seeing what I had in place. But what was different was my idea was to light this area from the roof line. That was something that the other company didn't address or think of, and that's also where I wanted to be different. And to me, it's thinking outside of the box. Those are the things that will set our designs apart from the typical landscape company that also does lighting. This is our specialty. Lighting is what we do, and this is what we're extremely good at over the years. Now as lead designer here for 10 years, I've been here 16 years. Those are the things, after taking multiple courses and training with the top designers in the world, I look at things a lot differently than I did 15 years ago, 16 years ago. So what I wanted to do was better illuminate the house, but also find a way that's gonna meet their goals but look beautiful. It's not going to be, I don't want the stair lighting to be the standout. I just want that to be something that blends in with my overall design, with the pretty, with the aesthetic. And I think we really nailed it out of the park with that. And what I did was I have miniature downlights kind of hidden up there in the roof. And I wanted to downlight or moonlight the grand entrance, the grand stairs leading up to the front door, but in a way where it's very organic. It doesn't look like floods on the grand entrance. It's soft, it blends in. It doesn't take away from the uplighting. It doesn't take away from the pretty crepe myrtles that are lit. So we use the miniature downlight because using Sterling lighting fixtures, fully adjustable. I set them soft but bright enough to showcase the stairs. And I also put glare shields in all of the lenses, so when you're coming up, you're not getting that typical floodlight glare. You don't notice where the light source is coming from. You just see the stairs, the beautiful grand entrance lit, and then that's why I really want to blow them away with the trees in the front yard, the house perfectly lit. We even did some of the cherry on top kind of design tricks, which was lighting both chimneys. I have all the dormers lit. Those are things that you don't typically see in a lighting design or in homes that are lit, but those are the kind of things we do that will really set our designs apart from the other guy. So that's why people like to have us come out and do the designs, and I think as you'll see shortly when it's dark, it'll really blow you away. This tree, or both of these, are matching trees in the front yard. They were both already lit, but previously they just had one light in the center. I'm not gonna call out the brand of the company, but the fixture was, it was not good enough to get all the way up to the top of the tree. I also wanted to light it with 2 fixtures on each side. That'll really showcase the canopy. When the tree's this big, one light is not cutting it, especially when you really want to show the width of the tree, the expanse, all the outer branches. Those are the things that really will make your yard, whether it's front or backyard, that's what'll make it pop, especially cherry trees, any large wide tree maples. So by just having the 2 lights, and the other major factor is the other fixture wasn't strong enough to get up the tree. The light stopped maybe 25 feet up. So it really was just a highlighted trunk. So by setting ours a little bit more powerful, the lumens were bumped up. I had 2 lights on each tree. That alone was a major difference maker in the front yard. Another big factor was these hollies, these manicured hollies you can see. They love these hollies, and they were lit before, but same kind of thing. The fixture that was on there was the standard uplight. So the beam was just so narrow, it wasn't meant for a wide, you know, it's like a cotton ball. It's short and wide. So I used the mini flood fixture, the SLO4, on each holly. When you see here in another half an hour when it's dark, it'll show the width. Each holly will be perfectly lit. And I really wanted to make sure I set these up so the light will get all the way up the tree, but it's definitely not going to be overpowering. They're very subtle because I don't want to take away from the house. That's the big thing. Light the trees in the front yard, but don't take away from the moneymaker, which is the beautiful house, the 2 crepe myrtles, the grand entrance. So both of these sets of trees, subtle, elegant. The light still gets all the way up, but definitely not overpowering. I don't want to overshadow the house. The other big factor was the planter. It's kind of a focal point in the front yard that was never lit before. And that is something that was very important to the clients. So what I did, you can see the SLO1 uplights on 18-inch risers, because otherwise there'll be a huge shadow and you won't even see the top of the planter. By having them on the risers, I have a really pretty light on the focal point center, right in the middle of the yard. That really pops at night. Between these things, and another big thing that they did not do in the past and that I added was this beautiful brick retaining wall in front. By having that brick retaining wall lit, something we do in lighting is called silhouetting, where I might not be lighting the bushes in front, but I'm backlighting the bushes and lighting the retaining wall, showing the silhouette of the boxwoods or the azaleas or whatever bush we're lighting. So that's a little trick of the trade. And I silhouetted all the bushes in the front, backlighting them, hitting that retaining wall. And that was also kind of a double feature where it gave a little bit of added ambient light to the stairs as you come up. So it kind of worked as a dual purpose light. And I think having that brick retaining wall along with the house, it kind of blended it all together. Beautiful. So it turned out really nice, and the customers are extremely happy with the result. All right, so now we're in the backyard. This was an area the customers never lit. And one thing that I really like to do, go inside. So we went inside in the living room right there with those big, massive custom windows that they had put in last year. And while we're sitting there, I said, wow, it's a shame that you don't have anything in the backyard, because you have some stunning, massive trees in the backyard. And they both agreed. Husband and wife said, you know what, we've always thought about it, we just didn't do it initially. So I told them, you know, from my own house experience and from the 7,500 homes I've lit over the years, what a difference the backyard makes. The front is what everybody does first typically. The back is what they always enjoy the most, because that's what you're looking at as the customer from inside your house every night, hanging out in the kitchen with your family, watching a movie. This is what you see. When the trees are this size and using a Sterling Lighting brand fixture, that's key. Having our lights, and that's what I always tell people, the adjustable lumen light gets all the way up the tree. Nobody else has a light that can do that. This is where it comes into play, having our adjustable lumens, whether it's a 1 at the softest or a 5, which goes all the way up. I had these larger trees set at a 5. The light gets all the way up to the top, hitting the canopy of the trees. Not only does it look stunning from their view inside the house, but at night when you pull up, it actually adds to the look in the front, because you can see the tops of the trees, you can see the canopies. And that was something that they really loved the idea of that. And I wanted to make that a focal point of not only the front, but the design, or the back, but the front and back. So I have these massive trees back here, uplit, 2 lights on each tree. So it'll really showcase the canopy as a whole. The trunks, the light will get all the way up the top. And they love this holly. I lit the holly from the inside. Some of these perimeter trees. And the thing is, I always like to do around the entire backyard, because by lighting not just these massive trees, but some of these pretty trees on both sides, it really shows the yard at night as a whole. It's the same reason we always light homes corner to corner. You don't just want to light one area. It'll look like your backyard is tiny. By lighting the trees on this side, you're framing the yard, and that's a really big key to doing, especially backyards. I love framing it with lighting. But something that they have told me personally they fell in love with night 1 was doing the backyard. They love it. The next thing I want to do, and I talked to them about initially, they wanted to see how this looks first, and I'm sure we're going to be doing it shortly, is I really want to light the trees just behind their property. It's a little trick I like to do. It's, even though these trees aren't necessarily on their property, they have this beautiful tree line right off the edge of their property. And our plan in the next month is I'm gonna put our SLO1s in these mulch beds on the backside and project them at different angles into this tree line. So the tree line as a whole, the canopies will completely glow, backlighting the individual trees that are lit. And that is something that'll just really pop at night. I know they'll love it. But even without that, they absolutely love how this turned out, and I'm sure you will too. I love working with people that really give me the free range to do whatever I want and kind of trust me to have the vision of what, of course I want to know what they're looking for, what their wants and needs are, but they definitely left it open for me to come up with that plan. And I could tell they're extremely passionate about quality work. They were very passionate about lighting in general, not only for the aesthetic and the beautification, but also the safety and security. But they did kind of leave it up to me to come up with that plan. And you know what? They were extremely happy with the end result. And I know anytime you talk to any of our customers, anybody that works with Dayloom will tell you the same thing. We design good nights because we do things the best there is. If you want the best installers, the best fixtures and Sterling lighting, which we use, the best design in the industry, on top of fantastic customer service, whether it's before or after, that is what we specialize in, because lighting is what we specialize in. This is what we do. We're not a landscaping and irrigation. Lighting is our passion. We also do audio a little bit, but lighting is our passion, and we always want to design good nights and give you a great night every night.